last video, I went over the Testamentarian clergy's hierarchy. This hierarchy is known by Testamentarians as the mortal hierarchy, as it only applies to mortals in the mortal realm, specifically the clergy. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Testamentarian heavenly hierarchy, which is a hierarchy of the gods, but also of beings that live in the heavenly realm. The heavenly hierarchy as described in the Testaments is split in two ways, a power hierarchy and a leadership hierarchy. These two hierarchies are pretty similar, so I'm going to describe the power hierarchy. The heavenly hierarchy is split into 5 classes: immortals, demigods, gods, all god, and supergods. The hierarchy is a class system as it is based on what the heavenly being is. There is no way to move between classes in the heavenly hierarchy. The only obtainable position in the hierarchy that is not destined at birth is the all-god position, which I will go more into detail later. For now, I'm going to begin to discuss the hierarchy's classes, from least powerful to most powerful. Immortals are spirits of dead mortals who live on a planet in the heavenly realm. They are the lowest on the hierarchy because immortals do not influence the universe and do not have any power. An immortal's existence is to live for eternity in the realm of the god or goddess they worship during their mortal lives. An immortal looks and thinks exactly the same as they did when they were alive. The difference between immortals and immortal is that immortals do not have organs. An immortal's body is just a form of the mortal spirit. An immortal also has a small shining golden halo over its head. This halo is purely symbolic, as it just shows that the heavenly being is an immortal. While it is described that immortals have no organs, this is not completely true, as immortals do have a brain. This is the brain of their mortal self, so they can have the memories and experiences of their mortal lives in their immortal life. Just as their name suggests, immortals do live forever. However, while immortals can live forever, they can still be killed. This is due to their brain, which is a physical brain. If the brain is destroyed, or the immortal's head is severed from its body, the immortal will die. Death of a heavenly being means that they will simply cease to exist. While immortals can be killed, they can still sustain a large amount of physical harm, much more than a mortal can survive. If an immortal loses a limb or loses half of his body, their lost body parts will simply grow back over time. When it comes to the life of the immortal, as stated earlier, an immortal's purpose is simply to live in the realm of the god or goddess they worshipped. An immortal spends most of their time in their communities, enjoying a pain-free and work-free life for the rest of eternity. The next class up is demigod. Demigods are dead mortals that achieve their status by doing various deeds during their mortal lives. Most demigods were master monks that achieved full enlightenment in their lifetime, and they earned the demigod status after they died. A small amount of demigods achieved their status in some other way, usually in a self-sacrificial deed for the gods or the betterment of mortal kind. An even smaller amount of demigods were mortal demigods, meaning they were demigods when they were still mortal. Demigods are the only beings that can hold a heavenly rank while still mortal. Some demigods have a demigod duty, which are specific miracles the demigod will perform to help mortal kind. And mortal demigods will perform these miracles while still alive. Mortal demigods also converse with the gods on behalf of mortals. While the gods can talk to mortals, they do it very rarely, and prefer to leave mortals alone. Often, if a god wants to converse with mortals, they will do it through a mortal demigod. Demigods are much the same as immortals when it comes to their physical description. They are a physical form of their spirit. They also can be killed in the heavenly realm like immortals, as they also have their mortal brains. The key physical difference between demigods and immortals is the halo. Demigods have a white disc called the demigod halo that hovers behind their head. The demigod halo is not only on demigods in the heavenly realm, but also in the mortal realm, making the halo a clear distinction of their status as a demigod on the mortal world. Aside from performing their demigod duty, if they have one, another duty demigods can perform, specifically in the heavenly realm, is being servants to the gods and looking after immortals. Demigods are seen as leadership to immortals, and much like how mortal demigods converse with the gods on behalf of mortals, heavenly realm demigods converse with the gods on behalf of immortals. Gods are immortal beings that are classified as having a purpose, meaning they have supernatural powers that can influence the universe. A majority of heavenly realm deities fall under this class. Gods are essential in the running of the universe, and without gods, the universe would not survive. Each god is born with a divine duty, which is a supernatural purpose a god must figure out themselves. Gods do not know their power from birth, and they learn their power through experience and growing up. These young gods, and gods who do not know their purpose, are called haloless gods. Haloless gods are not in their own class and are considered part of the god class, although they are not considered full gods until they have figured out their divine duty. Now, why are purposeless gods called haloless? To understand this, we must discuss the divine halo, the most important object to the gods. The divine halo is a semi-transparent golden band that hovers over the heads of gods. The halo is inscribed with a declaration of the god's divine duty in Morthanian. Young gods, or gods still learning their purpose, do not possess a halo, thus they are regarded as haloless. When a god has achieved full enlightenment and has discovered their true purpose, they will be granted a halo. The halo is formed above their head once they achieve this goal. The divine halo is the source of the god's power. If a god does not have their divine halo, they cannot perform their divine duty. The divine halo doesn't just grant the god power to carry out their divine duty. The divine halo also gives the god true immortality. Once a god receives their halo, they'll stop aging and be stuck at the age that they got their halo. The god also cannot be killed, as the divine halo allows the god to live, no matter how much their body has been destroyed. If a god is decapitated, for instance, they will simply grow their body back, although this process is slow. If the halo is compromised, not only does the god lose their powers, but they also lose their immunity from being killed. This is not much of a threat to the gods, however, as the halo is impossible to destroy. Well, almost. There are currently 38 gods in the Testamentary pantheon, all with various divine duties. Some of the gods are Santulus, god of the sun and agriculture, Jornivius, god of war, Sentinus, god of strength, and Yagnatfer, god of trees, who is the only god who is physically in the mortal world, although he can no longer speak to mortals. Most gods live in the heavenly realm, in their own realms, but some of the gods live in the mortal world, as they play an integral part of the upkeep and phenomena of the mortal world. These gods are called mortal world gods, and some of these mortal world gods include Pramator, god of the wind, Trundor, god of storms, and his brother Grundor, god of lightning, Almormum, god of air, and Festina, the goddess of rotten decay. These mortal world gods are invisible to mortals and do not have a mortal form like the other gods. The all-god position is the only position in the hierarchy that is obtained rather than assigned to at birth. There is only one god who can fill the all-god position, and the only god who has held this position since its inception is Authorena, all-goddess of motherhood and mortals. In fact, Authorena is destined to hold the position for eternity, as it is prophesied that when Authorena gets overthrown from the all-god position, it will mean the end of the universe. This is a subject I will get into in another video. The All-God is the leader of all the gods, and her sole purpose is to keep the universe in balance. While Authorena is not very powerful when it comes to her divine duty, she is ranked above the gods due to her influence power. The All-God is the only deity that can make gods perform their divine duty in a specific way. Most of the time, gods have autonomy to perform their divine duty in any way they wish. However, if the All-God instructs a god to perform their duty in a specific way, in order to balance the universe, the god must comply. The All-God has this power due to the deities in this next rank. Super gods are destruction gods, and they are the most powerful beings in the universe. However, while super gods are the highest in the power hierarchy, they are ranked below gods, but above demigods in the leadership hierarchy. This is because super gods do not have autonomy over their powers. The use of their powers is under explicit discretion of the All-God. This is due to the super god's destructive powers, which are so powerful and dangerous that these deities rarely use their powers. Not only are super gods regarded as lower on the leadership hierarchy than gods, super gods are not even considered full-fledged gods. Instead, they are seen as entirely separate beings. Due to this, super gods are not worshipped by mortals. Super god cults do exist, but is seen as a fruitless endeavor, as super gods do not have their own realms, and they do not accept souls into the heavenly realm. Mortals who explicitly worship super gods will either be considered lost souls upon death, or will simply be damned to the nether. There are two super gods that exist. Thorin, Destroyer of Worlds, also known as the super god of extinction, is the least powerful of the super gods. As its name suggests, Thorin has the ability to destroy planets. Thorin's power to destroy planets hasn't been used since the early mortal era, and Thorin's main task is to initiate extinction of animal life, and even plant life in the mortal world. As stated earlier, Thorin's use of his powers is under the sole discretion of Otherena, the All-Goddess, and she uses Thorin's powers to rid the mortal world of beings that are causing an imbalance to the universe, mainly by harming mortals. Thorin is described as a giant, who is bald, fit, and often depicted wearing a loincloth. He has 3 eyes. His third eye is on his forehead, which is closed. This third eye remains closed until he needs to use his power. Lastly, Thorin has a divine halo over his head. Thorin's first task after obtaining his power was to cause the giant race, his own race, to go extinct on the mortal world, as giants cause the mortal world to be inhospitable to the emerging mortal race. Completing this task showed Otherena that he could carry out his duty responsibly, thus he was allowed to keep his power. The most powerful of the super gods is Alfonza, Destroyer of Realms, also known as a super god of destruction. Alfonza is the most powerful being in the universe. While Thorin had the power to destroy planets, Alfonza has the power to destroy realms. I will make a more in-depth video on the Testamentarian realm theory, but the basic explanation is that realms are essentially entire universes. Most gods have their own realms, with their own planets inside them. However, the heavenly realm is an all-encompassing realm that holds all realms inside of it. Alfonza, Destroyer of Realms, has the power to destroy the heavenly realm, essentially ending the universe. Alfonza is also the only being in the universe that has enough power to destroy divine halos, essentially making him the universe's only god killer. Due to the incredible power Alfonza has, he rarely uses his power, and the use of his power is under the sole discretion of Otherena, just like Thorin. However, Alfonza has only used his power once. At the end of the Divine War, which was a war between Otherena and Catherine for the All-God position, Otherena used Alfonza's power to destroy the halos of Catherine and her partner, Casalgenic. Then she ordered him to destroy their realm and banish them to the Nether. Following this, Alfonza's powers were too strong to be used again. Alfonza is described as an alpaca, with a personable face, and a divine halo over his head. Alfonza is the only animal deity in the Testamentarian pantheon, and the reason for this, as well as a full explanation of Alfonza and his coming to being and myths, will be explained in a separate video. I want to thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on the Testamentary religion.